is the Steve Freeman Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a new week, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to another episode of the Steve Freeman Podcast. Happy Monday to you for those of you that are actually listening on the day that it gets released. Don't forget, we need you. We need your help. We need you to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, especially if you are listening on Apple Podcast, which 78% of you are, because I look at the analytics almost daily. What helps us get out there to new audiences when you guys share this podcast out on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and other places. I love it when you do that. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to do better about when you guys tag the podcast on Instagram about resharing it out through my feed. I've got to get better about that. But the other way is that Apple does it organically through their algorithm, and they push it out whenever they see podcasts growing by 5-star ratings and written reviews. Take 60 seconds, leave us a written review. I would greatly appreciate it. We've got a ton of new ones, and I was going to read one this morning, and I don't have it pulled up on my screen. Nobody to blame but me, and that's okay. Friday's episode, we'll start reading them again. But we are going to feature them here on the podcast. So please take 30, 60 seconds out of your day and head over to Apple Podcast or iTunes, leave us a written review, and rate us 5 stars. Everything we talk about today, if there's links, articles, anything like that, which I think there is one today, it will be in the show notes description, the show notes section of the podcast, or the description if you're watching the video version on YouTube. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I did something this weekend, and I went kind of down a rabbit hole. And I was trying to put myself into the situation of if it were, say, 25 years ago, and I were a new songwriter, new producer, new engineer, new artist, especially songwriters and artists. I was really trying to put myself in your shoes and go, if I were trying to make it in the current climate, how things are right now, what would I find? Like what kind of obstacles am I up in front of? And, you know, the funny thing of it is that I already know really what you're up against. And we talk about it a lot on here, and I try to be as honest with you guys as humanly possible without crushing your dreams. I get a lot of emails and DMs from people telling me that they feel like I'm attempting to crush their dreams. And I'm not. I'm just trying to interject a little bit of reality into your scenario, because we all do that. It doesn't really matter if it's music, if it's anything else, other things that I'm interested in. Believe me, I approach everything that I get involved with or that I'm passionate about, or that I approach it the same way you guys approach the things that you are passionate about. I want them to be successful. I a lot of times, I will not allow myself and the realities that I know exist to creep in, because I worry that they're going to stifle my passion for it, which will then make me not as creative, or I will start focusing on the negative and not enough on the positive. And that tends to get me down. And then I start finding myself really not liking the things that I really liked before, because all I really did was focus on the reality of what's possible and the reality of the effort. But that being said, that has also kept me from going way too far down a road that was not going to be profitable, or was not going to help me get to be in a position that I really want to be. But I started keeping track a couple of weeks ago of just the amount of ads, let's say, that flow in on my Facebook feed. And this weekend, I'm like, all right, I'm going to put myself in the situation and see, okay, let's say that I am a new songwriter. I'm a new artist, and I really wanting to get noticed. I really want to get my music out there. What's it going to take? And one of the things that I noticed over the weekend is that everybody has their damn hand out. I don't see how you guys do it. I really don't. Between ads for this and ads for that, and then songwriting competitions, which is something that I want to get into. And I want to talk about this because I think this is important. I get a lot of questions about that. Steve, is this worth doing? Should I do this? Should I enter this songwriting competition? And my answer is always no. And my answer is always no for a very good reason. They're all bullshit. It's 100% about the money. Case in point, I have been, and I don't know about you guys, but I have been inundated, flooded, almost flat out ran over like a Mack truck with ads from American Songwriter magazine for the last 30 days for their 35th annual song contest. And I just scroll past them. I don't ever look at them. I don't care what songwriter or what artist, who they've paid to come in and do these ads or these promos for them, telling you what an amazing experience it is and how good it is. I just scroll past it. I know it's all bullshit. Yesterday, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to take a look at this. I know the guy that runs all of their social media. I know the guy that runs all of their social media ad campaigns. I know what they're spending. They're spending thousands and thousands of dollars per week to get this song contest in front of amateur songwriters and new songwriters and people that have a dream of wanting to be a successful songwriter in Nashville. They're spending the right amount of money. And they are targeting anybody that might have any interest whatsoever, which is why I'm seeing them, which is probably why you're seeing them. I already had somebody the other day bring this up to me and say, hey, are you seeing all these ads for the song contest for American Songwriter magazine? I'm like, yes. I'm over it. I can't stand it anymore. But yesterday, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to take a look at everything that is required, everything, what exactly is this contest about? And it took me scrolling down to the bottom of the page to really understand and realize what this song contest is all about. Now, I will say this. It is a legitimate contest. There will be a winner. Those winners will win things. Let's see. First place prizes, an Ovation guitar. I'm sorry. This is going to offend some people. Who the fuck plays Ovation guitars anymore? Anyway, but Ovation is also a major sponsor of this songwriting contest. I'm just saying, when's the last time you heard of somebody run down to Guitar Center and buy an Ovation? Like, for me, that was like circa 1983. Not saying anything bad about Ovation guitars. Love them. Just haven't owned one in 30 years. Let's see. Another first place prize. Full page feature in and promotion across American Songwriter. Out of the 6 bi-monthly lyric contest winners, 1 annual grand prize winner will receive a Dream Day on Music Row. You also get a 1-year Songcraft Pro subscription, which I'm sure is their membership-based thing that you pay monthly for. The winner gets a year of that for free. Runner-ups and honorable mentions get the top 4 get their lyrics placed in American Songwriter. Let's see. 10 honorable mentions are placed in American Songwriter by writer, hometown, and song title. And then there's a place for you to enter. And they show you where, in the past, winners have been featured on the front page of American Songwriter magazine. The Daydream on Music Row this year is with Robert Earl Keen. It includes round-trip flight to Nashville, domestic only, professional demo session, 1 song at Omni Sound Studios, 2 nights at Union Station Hotel in Nashville, and a lifetime subscription to Songcraft Pro. Then they show you a video of the 2019 winner, who was Mike Guinea, I guess is how you would say that. And then they give you a chance to enter again. Then I scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I see really what this is all about. What this is all about is the $15 submission fee, entry fee, if you will. Now, listen here, I'm going to be very careful. I'm not saying that it could not be worth it. It's $15. It's nothing. But what we're talking about today, the point I'm trying to get is, do you not always feel that it's always $15 somewhere? It's $15 over here. It's $100 over here. It's $600 over here. It's $1,000 over there. And you guys aren't making any money with your music. To me, these people prey on your desire to be successful and prey on your dreams of making money in the business. But to me, this is all about getting 50,000 people to pay $15. I mean, you can go down the first place prize list, and I can add up the total value of first place. I can do all of that. I mean, I don't care about the 1-year Songcraft Pro subscription. I have no idea even what that costs. Maybe if somebody's a member of that, or maybe you could tell us. I could probably look it up, but I'm not going to do it. The guitar is, I mean, it couldn't be that much. Let's just say the whole first prize thing is worth, $2,500. Well, for a lot less than that, you can do a full demo session by yourself and cut 3, 4, 5 songs, not just one. And what they're going to do, by the way, on that session probably is throw you in on something else. I doubt very seriously that demo session is going to be just you and just your song cutting one song. I might be wrong about that. But let's say at demo scale, if you had 5 players, that'd be 1,000, and leader makes double. So you're looking at $1,500 plus cartage. You would have studio time for that session. So just one demo session alone, maybe $2,000, $2,500. So then you've got the guitar, which, I mean, is not that expensive. And what they're really selling you here is the promotion inside Songwriter magazine. What they don't put on there is a prize, and what they're trying to get you to do and tie these lines together on the back end subconsciously is thinking that, it's not so much about the first place prize. It's not so much about getting to cut my song. It's not so much about getting and winning the guitar. It's not really so much about winning the 1-year Songcraft Pro subscription. What they're doing is subconsciously playing on your fear, on your dream, that should I win this contest, it's going to get me attention from publishers and record labels in and around Nashville. That is what they're really selling you for the $15. That bothers me a little. Now, they're not the only ones doing it. There are tons and tons and tons and tons of other companies that are doing this exact same thing. There's a reason why, and there'll be somebody. Trust me, there's always somebody. There'll be somebody. Well, Steve, you've got the Artist Development Academy. Yes, but we don't spend any money in ads whatsoever. The only way people know about the Artist Development Academy is when I talk about it here on the podcast. We don't spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. We could, but we don't. We don't spend all of that money putting this in front of people that we think will be interested. Because I don't want to do that. I do not. It is very important to me that people that want to do and be a part of the academy, those are people that really are taking their career seriously, and we're providing value for that on a monthly, daily, weekly, yearly basis. And if you find it and you come to us, this is the only way to get to it. I started to say, it's almost like becoming a Christian. The only way to God the Father is through God the Son. The only way the Artist Development Academy is through me. That I'm not being sacrilegious. Please don't nail me to the wall on that. It was a joke. It was a joke. That's it. But the more and more I look around, the more I see that I get to a point to where when I think about and place myself in you guys' shoes, I'm like, no wonder nobody's going anywhere. No wonder everywhere that I look, and when I look around and I see what's going on, so many of you just get stuck on that music business treadmill that we've talked about. That you're doing a lot, but you're not getting a lot done. And it's because you place faith in things like this. Now, look, I'm going to say, I like American Songwriter magazine. I have nothing against those guys. I think they put out a great publication. But this is an effort to monetize their business. This is not about giving an unknown songwriter a shot. This isn't about that. This is about making money. So I wanted to see earlier this morning, the deadline for this thing ended yesterday, by the way, for those of you that are clamoring over there to go sign up. It's already over. The submissions have already been all in. and they have closed the entrance. Now, I waited till this morning to do today's podcast because I wanted to see this list. And when I talk about the decks being stacked against you, they have already picked the top 35 song finalists for the American Songwriters 35th Annual Song Contest. And on their website, they released the names of the songs, who wrote it, and who performed it. These are their top 35. As I look down this list, I find that over half, I don't know all of these names, but I know many of them. Over half of the people who have been picked in the top 35 already have publishing deals and or record deals with major label record labels or major publishing companies, or just have a publishing deal anyway. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to do a song contest, a lyric contest, why don't we say, you know what? This is not open to professional songwriters. This is not open to anybody that has a record deal or that has a publishing deal currently. This is about going out there and finding somebody who wants to be in this business, not somebody who's already actively engaged in this business. There's one guy on here that has it's written 4 entries, and he has a publishing deal. He's also had 3 very big hits in the last 2 years. So you as a beginning songwriter or amateur songwriter or one that is on your way and you're trying to find and do the things that can help you get a little bit of a leg up, that can get your work and your songs recognized. When you do something like this, you're still going up against some of the top songwriters in Nashville. The deck is stacked against you. And I think at some point where we are in this business, you have to sit back and think, is this really worth doing? Is this really worth pursuing as a profession? I would never try to discourage or talk anybody out of being involved in music, of writing songs, producing records, being an artist, getting out there. But when you really step back and you really take a look at what's going on in the industry, even the ones that are at a position where you want to be are not financially at the place where you want to be. It is not like what you see on Instagram. I swear to God, and I hate, we talked about it last week, I hate this new thing that Instagram's doing where when you reach the bottom of the feed that they want to show you of the people that you actually choose to follow. Now it's all these new accounts that they, based on their algorithm, that they think you might want to follow or that you may like their content. Well, because I'm in the music business, I get all of them. And I have here lately been going in and looking, and I swear to God, it is nothing but thousands and thousands and thousands of wannabe artists. And if you looked at their profile pictures and you looked at the last 5 pictures they've posted, you would swear to God they were platinum selling artists, and they're not. They're faking it until they make it. But here's the reality. Less than 0.0001% of them and you that are listening to this will actually make it. And by make it, I mean make music your profession in a way that you can pay, that you will make enough money to actually pay for your living. God forbid if you should have a family, will pay for your kids, pay for your wife, and pay for your very, very few of you. The deck is so stacked against you, it's not even funny. And again, I'm not trying or attempting to piss on your parade or ruin your dreams. I'm trying to be realistic with you. When I look at things like this and I look at all the other ads that I've seen on Facebook and on Instagram that are directly targeted toward helping you get to the next level, if I had $1 for every fucking ad that I've seen for Spotify playlist promotion over the last 3 months, I would never have to take on another project ever again. I could retire right now and just go do whatever the hell I want to do for the rest of my life. If I had $1 for every different company that is out there targeting you guys on social media, trying to get you to pay $25.99, $49.99, $250, $300, $500, $700 to get your music placed on Spotify playlists. Now, let me tell you something. The only reason that these companies are there is because some fucking morons somewhere in great numbers are falling for it. They are using your money to advertise to target more people just like you. They're not going in the hole. People advertise because it works. I see all the time people, what is that? I mean, people actually fall for that? Yes, people fall for that. They do it and it doesn't work. And then they think, well, maybe it was just that company. So they see an ad for another person that does it, and they try that person too. $6, $7, $8, $9, $1,000 later, you've tried 10, 12, 15 of these different companies, and all you've done is give them money to go market to other people. These companies look at cost of acquisition. They know exactly how much money they need to spend in ads in order to get some idiot somewhere on their phone or their computer to click and buy. It's cost of conversion. It's cost of acquisition. They care nothing about helping you, getting your song on any playlist, because they can't do it. They don't have those relationships. What you're paying for, and I haven't said this in a while, and I think this is a perfect time to bring this up. In this business, you never pay for effort. Ever. You pay for results. You don't pay anybody to try anything. That's why I harp so often on you guys picking and choosing and doing business with reputable people who have been able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. That being said, just because they've accomplished it for somebody else does not mean they can accomplish it for you. Different people, different set of circumstances, different talent level, different budget, different everything. But you've got to start at the ground level of dealing with reputable people. I get told all the time, Steve, you're too expensive. You're damn right I'm too expensive because my time is valuable. I've accomplished the things I'm not selling my shit on the cheap. I'm just not going to do it. I could, but I'm not going to do it. And neither should anybody else out there who has the experience that has accomplished the things that you want to accomplish. But so many of you guys fall for these ads on Facebook. The Spotify playlist promotion, the songwriting contests. This is about the 4th or 5th songwriting contest thing that I've seen out there in the last month. This is not about helping songwriters. It's about getting songwriters with a dream to pay $15. That's what it's about. They've been running this thing for months on end. And somehow the registration deadline was last night. Somehow overnight, they went through everybody that paid $15 and had the top 35 first thing this morning. And again, over half of the people that are in this top 35 already have major publishing deals. Again, I'm not saying this to discourage you. But I only believe that you can be successful in your effort when you actually interject reality into what it is that you want to do. We all get hung up on being passionate and getting excited and getting wrapped up in actually doing the things that we're passionate about. We become passionate about making them successful. But look at the tools you're using. Put that into your equation. Never forget reality. And then every once in a while, you got to kind of look at things and go, maybe this is like the Wizard of Oz. I'm not seeing the wizard. Why am I not seeing the wizard? The old adage, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Because we want to accomplish things and we want to move forward and we want to realize our dreams. Sometimes most of the time, we forget there is another reason behind everything. Just like this contest. It's not about finding a new songwriter or elevating a songwriter to prominence. It's about getting as many people to pay $15 as humanly possible. Just be wary, guys. Understand that no matter how talented you are, how good you are, it really doesn't matter in today's business, especially today's music business. Because anybody with an ad budget can literally put you in the ground. That's going to do it for this episode of the Steve Freeman Podcast. I love each and every one of you guys, not trying to be negative. I just want you to be realistic. I want you to have a heads-up approach to what it is that you're trying to do. One of the guys that is going through our music business mindset mentorship program, we had a long conversation of just about this the other day, and I applauded him for his expectations and what he's trying to accomplish in his career. He doesn't have the pie-in-the-sky expectations, but he also knows that he has to invest in himself. He has to invest in his career, even if he just wants to make this a successful passion. Expectations are important, guys. More than that, having realistic expectations is of the utmost importance. Guys, thanks for joining us for another episode. Don't forget, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Take that 60 seconds, leave us a written review, and rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. I also want to tell you, this is the last episode in this studio. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, but we are closing down the recording studio and the podcast studio to get ready to move everything to California. I will be loaded. I do not want to do this. I was going to do a pods thing, but then it's like I've got too much stuff. I'm going to be loading up a truck in January and taking all non-essentials, and which is recording studio, podcast studio, everything, and setting them up in the new space out in California. So beginning this week, our lease was up at the end of the year. We're going to go ahead and get out before the end of November, just so I have a good feeling about everything being taken care of, because it's going to take a while to break all of this stuff down. This is the last episode in this room. And it's a little sad, but I'm excited. I'm excited about getting to California. I'm excited about the new space out there. I've been buying all the stuff that's going to be in the new studio out there, as well as the new podcast studio out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those of you that follow me on social media, especially on Instagram, you'll be seeing pictures and things like that. I'm getting ready to head out there in a couple of weeks and start the process of building that back up out there, and we're getting the studio ready. So I'm excited about it. But as we say goodbye to this studio, keep being creative, keep pressing the boundaries, and there's nothing wrong with being independent. Guys, see you on Friday.
The Steve Freeman Podcast. Available now on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else you get your podcasts.